Them loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. You know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Shine, flies, no time to waste while it's passing you by. Shine, flies, be patient, 'cause good things happen in time. We gon' get it right, we gon' get it right, we gon' get it right. We gon' get it right.
Protests and anthems, yes, we chanting. A movement of people, it's like we dancing to the ministry of. It's the energy of, in memory of them that we love. The trinity of the people, the peace, the power, the truth. We speak the powers even louder. We can say it blacker, we can say it prouder. A woman vice president that went to Howard. Now we talk helping black businesses. And our emphasis is magnificence, bringing light to the point where the prisons is. I was told good life is where forgiveness lives. The ascension is to leave what's left behind and feed the seeds with deeds that bless the mind, caress the mind, and question justify. With you and God in time, I best align.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, your host and White House correspondent. I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Follow me on all the social media platforms at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. All you got to do is type in Dr. Nii-Q, DRNIIQ, and there I am, fresh for you to follow. Also, be sure to download the KBLA app to listen to us live or on demand, or simply tell Alexa to play KBLA Talk 1580, and there we are for your listening pleasure. Last but not least, subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast. That way you will never miss an episode. Now, I'm joining you live from Washington, D.C., where this has been a heavy news day. So many folks across the country, so many folks across the world have been on the edge of their seats looking to see how Iran was going to respond to U.S. airstrikes over the weekend. As I had shared in our first hour, President Trump has announced a ceasefire. We're waiting to see leaders from Iran and Israel, essentially validate that and say, yeah, there will be a ceasefire. We've agreed to a ceasefire. And if that news breaks while we are on air today, we will be sure to share that with you. But other than that, we're switching gears. It's time for you to decide the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. It's time for your National News Roundup. And kicking us off, y'all know how much I love Kendrick Lamar. Come on now. KBLA is Kendrick's hometown talk station, the only talk station, black talk station west of the Mississippi. You can tell I'm still hyped from seeing Kendrick Lamar and SZA perform just outside of D.C. Last week. It was a sight to see, the last stop of their North American tour, but not the last stop for conversations about Kendrick. You see, Temple University is launching a Kendrick Lamar course on culture, legacy, and lyrics. The Griot is reporting that the list of courses centering hip-hop and hip-hop artists at various universities around the United States has a new addition to the list this upcoming semester at Temple University in Philadelphia, a course that endeavors to cover the life and legacy and cultural influence of Kendrick Lamar will be available to students, titled Kendrick Lamar and the Morale of the Mad City. The course will be taught by Timothy Welbeck, an assistant professor in the university's Africology and African American Studies department. According to the university, Welbeck, who's a lawyer, whose scholarly work sits at the intersection of race, law, and culture. He's taught other courses centering hip-hop, including hip-hop and Black culture and No City for Young Men, hip-hop and the narrative.
Can you hear me?
Marginalization, which is also the title of his upcoming book, which will explore how hip-hop communicates the lived experience of persons who live in urban centers across the nation, particularly Black men living in major cities. So we love to see it. Who knows? Let's see if we can bring a course like that to the West Coast. I have a few friends who might be interested in helping to make that happen. In other news, Florida is to build an alligator Alcatraz detention center for migrants in the Everglades, as if we thought we have heard the most outlandish thing coming out of Florida. Here we are right here. The New York Times reporting that Florida is building a detention center facility for migrants nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz. Who would nickname a detention center Alligator Alcatraz? Turning an airfield in the Everglades into the newest and scariest sounding holding center designed to help the Trump administration carry out its immigration crackdown. The remote facility, composed of large tents and other planned facilities, will cost the state around $450 million a year to run. But Florida can request some reimbursement from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Now, ain't that something? Last I checked, Arkansas still hadn't received their FEMA money following the tornadoes and their impact in Arkansas. I think there are still folks in Los Angeles that are still recovering from the wildfires that haven't received their FEMA money, right? And so, but FEMA is giving $450 million to Florida in reimbursements for this this detention center, so-called Alligator Alcatraz. If you are outraged, you have every reason to be. Finally, speaking of outrage, the LA Times is reporting that Hollywood's in bad shape. You wouldn't know it from the CEO pay. Warner Brothers Discovery is in poor shape, and so much that the CEO, David Zaslav, has decided to unwind the 2022 merger he orchestrated by splitting the company into two. But Zaslav himself is doing just fine, to the chagrin of shareholders in a rare, searing rebuke. Investors recently cast a symbolic vote disapproving of Zaslav's 2024 compensation package, which rose 4% to $51.9 million compared with the year before. The package, of course, approved by the board of directors, ensured that Zaslav remained one of the nation's highest paid corporate leaders. So timing is everything. And, when things aren't working out, aren't we told that sometimes we all got to take one for the team? Well, he ain't taking no pay cuts. That's for sure. When we come forward, we are switching gears. I'm really excited to welcome two leaders on the front lines that I have known and admired for some time. And as we all get geared up for the Olympics, we get to tap in to an extraordinary program that they are leading together. It is the interview that you don't want to miss, related to LA 84 Foundation and the Play Equity Fund and Play Day. It's a Play Day block party that's coming up on June 28th, and we don't want to miss it. We're going to hear all about that and more when we come forward. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580. and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's.
The Parkinson's Foundation knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers
We can help you understand the disease
and give you tips for living a better life.
Find your answers at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
They changed my name. They didn't put my...
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests. As we effort to build a more perfect union.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Corte, and really delighted to welcome the Honorable Heather Hutt, representing Los Angeles City Council, particularly the 10th District. Welcome to the show, Councilmember Hutt.
Thank you. So good to see you.
Always good to see you. Always good to see you, and always good to see Renata Simril. She is the president and CEO of LA 84. Renata, always great to see you. All right. While we're working on getting Renata's sound up, I want to start with you, Councilmember Hutt. Before we talk about this really extraordinary event that's coming up, this Play Day block party, and given what LA has been through just this year alone, we need a Play Day. We need a few Play Day block parties. But I want to give you an opportunity to just give our leaders, learners, and listeners an update in terms of the mood on the ground in LA. We know that Vice President J.D. Vance made a visit that didn't go over so well. How are folks in LA moving forward following that underwhelming visit?
I feel like Angelinos are cautiously optimistic. They trust our mayor. They trust our community leaders. They don't trust the administration. And so keeping that in mind, I think that you can understand where we are. We are LA. We're resilient. We're strong. And we don't take any wooden nickels. So we know that he came here and it was performative. You know, just like we saw with Kristi Noem, it was all performative. And folks here in Los Angeles, we understand that. We're going to keep doing what we're doing to keep our community safe and to share with the rest of the world that we are not tearing up our streets. that was a bunch of disruptors that decided that this is a great opportunity. But that's not happening with our neighbors, and that is not happening in our neighborhoods, and that's not what we're going to see this weekend. We're going to see fun this weekend. And that's one of the things I think is super important to know, is that we're still moving on. We're still doing things together, and that our communities are better together, no matter what your status is.
That's right. That's right. And Renata, I want to bring you into the conversation. Again, we're going to have plenty of time to sort of stretch out and talk about this block party that we're all excited about. And if you haven't heard about it, I'm sure you're going to be excited about it by the time we finish this conversation. But Renata, before you became president and CEO of LA 84, I know you served as senior vice president over at the Los Angeles Dodgers. LA Dodgers have been in the news recently, really sort of, standing up for LA values. I want to ask you, what you make of that, that very, sort of public stance. There are a lot of organizations that are facing scrutiny in terms of how they respond to these ICE raids and the threat of these ICE raids. As a Dodgers alumni, if you will, what do you make of their reaction to this? And as soon as we can get Renata's sound, we're going to get her response to that question, because it's a very important question. It's a timely question. But Council Member Hutt, I want to put the same question to you.
Sure.
The LA Dodgers doing something that we don't see a lot of big brands doing right now.
It was a remarkable stance for them to stand up against our federal government and say, hey, this is not okay. And we don't see that because a lot of huge corporations are in fear that it'll mess with their bottom line. But in this case, the Dodgers stood up. And we also have to say that in this case, the community was peaceful. And I think that is something that we have to remember as we are going through these exercises that are being forced upon us, that we need to be as peaceful as possible. Remember Dr. King, remember Reverend Lawson, do a peaceful protest so that they can't abuse us, because that is the goal, is to abuse Los Angeles, use us as an example of tyranny.
Yeah.
And so we have to be as peaceful as possible. And I want to say to our listeners, and I'm saying it wherever I can be these days, have a plan. You need a plan. If you are a household that has a mixed status, make a determination on who's going to answer the door if somebody knocks on the door. It's important that grandma who forgot to fill out her paperwork doesn't go to the door, because they will take her. It's important that if your child's in school and grandma again is the person that is the emergency contact, you got to change it to someone that has documentation, because this administration is really abusing power right now.
We're definitely seeing it, and we actually heard from Mayor Bass recently. She's been everywhere, echoing so much of what you just shared, and really reminding us that she believes that this is an experiment of sorts, that this administration is really using the city of Los Angeles, really using California as sort of a test case. Do you see it the same way?
Absolutely. And, I feel like we lived this before, that Nii-Quartelai, that I worked in for the senator, and then a short stints under the administration when she was vice president. And we saw him abuse power, but he did not really have this emboldened, powerful spot that he has now. So we see everything you saw on Project 25, that's what's going down. Everything that you read, if you ever read The Art of the Deal, That's what he's doing. He's taken Malcolm X by any means necessary to a brand new place. And we can't sit around and let it happen. This is not going to be Hitler in Germany. We cannot let it happen. So we have to use every tool in our toolbox to maintain our city.
We do. And in addition to using every tool in our toolbox to maintain the city, to continue to protest peacefully, we also need to carve out that time to come together and experience a little bit of joy, right? And that's part of the reason why I love, the work that you and Renata are doing. You and the LA 84 Foundation, the Play Equity Fund, and Play Day. For folks who don't know, the LA 84 Foundation and its partners are hosting a free, operative word, free Play Day block party on June 28th. This is a joyful community celebration with fun for all ages. Renata, tell us, how this idea came up. Because what a time what a time to execute this. Talk to us about how it came up.
Well, first of all, can you hear me? All right. Look, Lord knows we need sports to help us with our health, healing, to create a sense of belonging, and to create a sense of community. That's what the L84 Foundation has stood for 40 years, is really using the power of sports and play to bring communities together to celebrate, regardless of where you come from, what you look like, your zip code, your sexual orientation, your ability. Is it play should be a place where everyone has an opportunity to be their best and their true selves. And that's what the foundation has stood on for 40 years. And we conceptualized Play Day as a Earth Day for play. As I went through our work in 2016, you heard it, an Earth Day for play. It's a moment where we just recognize and celebrate and elevate the importance for sport, play, and movement to bring that sense of belonging, to bring that sense of healing, to bring that sense of health, to bring that sense of joy. And in today's, climate that we're in, joy is an act of defiance. We will not let this current administration take our joy. And so Play Day is a reflection of that. While the headquarters is at our Gramercy and Adams intersection, right in front of the headquarters of the L84 Foundation, we have 85 organizations across the United States in 120 locations celebrating on June 28th a National Day of Play to take back our joy, to celebrate the importance of sport, play, and movement, and the power of sports to build communities one kid at a time. This is our 4th year hosting our Play Day. We've grown every year, and there were 4,000 residents from all over the city of Los Angeles. The beautiful diaspora and cultural diversity that lives here in the city, celebrating with music and food trucks and play. We had our sports teams. We had, this year, Ozomatli is going to be performing, DJ Puffs. It's really hearkening back to, the 84 Olympic Games, of how you had culture, art, music, sport, play. And, you mentioned earlier about the fires, right? Climate resiliency, just offering that opportunity to just have some joy. And we need that.
And I love so much that this is happening in your district, Councilmember Hutt. It's happening over in the historic West Adams district. It'll be packed with live music, as Renata mentioned, sports activations, interactive games, all of that. For folks who are wondering, and you brought this up before, I want to close the loop on this, talking about families with mixed immigration status. Can you talk about how safe they should feel attending this event?
Yeah, we have a protocol. You go ahead, Councilmember. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's a ticketed event, la84.org. So you need a ticket to enter, but it is a free event. And we have protocols at entry, so that you have to have a ticket to enter. And that we, we'll have security, we'll have protocols in place should, the unthinkable happen at this day of joy and play, to make sure that the folks who are entering, the residents and the families who are entering, have an opportunity to just have a safe space to play from 10 to 3 on Saturday, June 28th. I'm hoping that all goes well, but we are prepared to respect the safety of those that are attending as best we can.
Anything you want to add to that, Councilmember Hutt?
I do want people to trust their intuition, and if they feel like they shouldn't, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I want folks to be honest with themselves. Mm-hmm. We do have protocols in place, like the president said. However, you pay attention to yourself, because these are serious times.
These are serious times indeed, but even in serious times, we can carve out space to experience joy. I oftentimes talk about the United States 100 years ago. I've been doing a lot of reading and a lot of thinking about the United States 100 years ago. We know that history is cyclical. There are so many things that repeat itself. And, in the 20s, we had, the Tulsa Race Massacre. We had a president that was corrupt. We had, deregulation of industries. We had, corporate abuses. We had a lot of things. And that decade obviously ended in the Wall Street crash. But we also had the Harlem Renaissance.
That's right.
And we're all still feeding off of the art and the joy.
And the music.
And the music that emanated from the Harlem Renaissance. And so when we come forward more with the Honorable Heather Hutt, LA City Council member representing the people of the 10th District, also Renata Simril, the president and CEO of LA 84 Foundation, we're talking about the Play Day Block Party taking place on June 28th in LA. It's the place to be. More with them when we come forward. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
The audience is listening, thought-provoking, eye-opening, heart-rendering. This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump is downplaying Iran's missile strike on a U.S. airbase in Qatar, calling it a weak response. He says 14 missiles were launched, 13 were intercepted, and the one that was not posed no threat. Trump emphasized that no Americans were harmed and thanked Iran for giving early notice. He ended by saying he hopes Iran will now move toward peace and stability in the region. U.S. Marshals and New Orleans police swarmed a home in the 7th Ward after a possible sighting of one of 2 Black men who escaped the Orleans Parish Jail. No arrests have been made. Antoine Massey and Derek Groves have been on the run for over a month. And Temple University will offer a fall 2025 course called Kendrick Lamar and the Morale of Mad City, exploring his life and cultural impact through an Afrocentric lens. Taught by Timothy Welbeck, it joins a growing list of college courses focused on hip-hop's influence on Black culture. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
A crash in Long Beach on the South 405 before Lakewood Boulevard. A car flipped over. Now the 2 right lanes are blocked. Big delays backing up from the 710 freeway. Baldwin Park stuck. Big rig on the 10 eastbound of Baldwin Park Boulevard. Second lane from the right is blocked. They've issued a SIG alert. That means that drive is going to be tough all the way from Temple City Boulevard. And in Ontario, another stall. 10 westbound before Vineyard. Second lane from the left blocked. That drive slowing away from Milliken.
Every day a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Kevin Durant trade to the Houston Rockets should send a chilling message to the Lakers and Clippers. Both teams have a lot of work to do in the offseason to keep pace in the Western Conference. Right now, there's at least 5 teams that are legitimate contenders to win the West. Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Denver, Dallas, and now Houston. Do not sleep on the Dallas Mavericks. They've got the #1 pick in the draft Wednesday night. They're going to use it to select Duke forward Cooper Flagg. If Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving have a healthy season, the Mavericks could be the favorite to keep OKC from running it back. It will be imperative for the Lakers and Clippers to make significant changes to their roster. Otherwise, the Lakers and Clippers will start next season looking up at 5 teams that are much closer to winning an NBA championship. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. You know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. My privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights. Hey, we all got rights.
Pasadena City College is proud to support Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. For over 100 years, PCC has been a pillar of the community, and we're here for you as we work together to recover from the Eaton fire and rebuild Altadena's future. At PCC, we offer diverse career education programs that prepare you for in-demand jobs, fueling both today's recovery and tomorrow's growth. Whether you're starting a new career or advancing your skills, PCC gives you tools to build your future and your community. Pasadena City College, here for the Dena, here for you. Learn more at pccfordena.com.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hit me.
National news of consequence, informed opinion, and analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, and we have the Honorable Heather Hutt representing the 10th District on the Los Angeles City Council. Also, we're joined with Renata, Simril, who is the president and CEO of the LA 84 Foundation. And if you're looking for something to do, I found it for you. It's taking place on June 28th. It is the LA 84 Foundation and the Play Equity Fund. They're hosting the free Play Day block party on June 28th. It's a joyful community celebration, fun for all ages. Look, the news has been heavy, right? And if you're feeling the way that I feel, you want to get from behind the computer, you want to turn the news off, and you want to be in community with some cool folks, some great music, some great vibes. Thanks to both of you for your leadership on this.
Yeah, you made me think about, before we went to break, we are continuing to fight the bad. We've been fighting the bad for so long that this weekend is about a little bit of good for our spirit, a little bit of good for our belonging, for our health, to help us deal with the stress, the anxiety, the depression. I think a lot of us are feeling, with the moment that we find ourselves in yet again. And so I like the way you said that. It's a joyful day to get from behind the computer, to get from behind our sadness as best we can, to just enjoy a day of play with community. Saturday, June 28th, 10 to 3, register at la84.org and come out and have a joyful day of play, food, music, dancing, celebrating community and a sense of belonging and togetherness.
That's right.
Right, and then you should say there are food tickets, right? So we're ready to feed over 1,000 people for free, and we got free ice cream. Who doesn't want free ice cream?
We got right. We got giveaways. We got giveaways for so for kids. So Nike is a good partner of us. So yeah, this is a day of free stuff too.
And there's new things to play. So last year I thought I was looking at something, and it was actually squash, which I had never been exposed to. And so there's other games out there for kids to experience that not regular at your park and rec or not regular at school. So, somebody might not be a great baseball player, but they might be amazing at squash. And so the Olympics have all of these different events and sports that kids can play. And that if they're not exposed young, they don't know that they're excellent at it. And this is a time where you could have these kinds of experiences. Something else you should know, Nii-Quartelai, is that people that come there are all ages.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this woman with a stroller and her mama on a walker because the other kid was running to do whatever they wanted to do, because you could take both of them out at the same time. You could take all three. The one who was ready to go, grandma wanted to see, of course, because you're seeing this life in your grandchild, and the baby in the stroller where you could take them. It was a beautiful sight, and we're expecting that again.
I love that. Before I returned to journalism, when I worked in public affairs for the American Heart Association on the National Childhood Obesity Initiative, I learned a lot about some of the root causes that make it very hard for kids to be able to obtain a healthy weight, maintain a healthy weight. Play, we take it for granted, but it's actually pretty vital when it comes to kids' physical health, their mental well-being, their academic success. Councilmember, we know that right now, LA City is experiencing a pretty significant budget shortfall. And when there are budget shortfalls, we know that important programs for kids seem to fall by the wayside. Can you share with us any efforts by your office, by other members of the city council to make sure that youth programs don't bear the brunt of any likely cuts?
Yeah, I actually sat on budget, so imagine. We worked really hard to preserve as much as we could for our recreation and parks. In my district, we have 2 swimming pools that are open for a very low price for kids to be able to learn to swim. My personal summer plan for our kids is movies in the park. And so starting this Friday night at Benny Potter Park, which has all the exercise apparatus and the play apparatus, we're doing all of that, and the Taco Man, and we're playing Mufasa. And, so it's a family day where everybody could come out. We also made a decision to make sure that Rec and Parks wouldn't turn the water on earlier in the day so people could put their blankets out and enjoy themselves. So in the 10th district, we're going to spend time all summer long making sure that families are able to do things together for free. And that's outside. That includes play. Listen, after COVID, we had something I call diabesity, especially in children. That's diabetes and obesity, because they were at home and they didn't get this play opportunity. that we are really trying to share with folks to get outside and do things. Play LA is going to introduce the whole family if they haven't been before, or welcome folks that have been there before to do things together, to be outside, to be physical. It's my duty to give folks opportunity to share city resources and to really make a better life for our children. I believe that's what we're doing in this case. And I gave Renata probably more work than she was looking forward to.
No, it's a beautiful.
Renata, are you pleading the fifth? Are you pleading the fifth?
No, I'm not pleading the fifth. It's a beautiful thing. You know, in addition to what the councilwoman is doing with Rec and Parks and maintaining programs during the summer, we have 20 grantees that are coming to Play Day on Saturday. So these are community-based organizations that we fund and other philanthropy funds to allow summer programming for kids at low cost or free, so that there's equitable access for families who can't afford, places to put their kids to have activities. And going back to Councilwoman Hutt's point about the diversity of opportunities that you have to play, we're going to have double dutch, squash, she mentioned, archery. So this is an opportunity for, kids and their families to come and try new sports, but they're also grantees that they can actually go to an organization and try that, after they leave the Play Day on Saturday. And so it's really about exposing families and the kids to new sports that they might just be good at, and who knows, make it to the Olympic Games in 2028. So that, and we're also integrating culture and art. We have an organization, the Boyle Heights Conservancy, is going to be doing a mural for the day, so that kids who play with a paintbrush, have an opportunity to develop their craft. We have a tot lot. So, young kids who are on the spectrum have an opportunity to play in a safe environment that's specific for tot lots. And so this is truly a day that, as the councilwoman mentioned, is for all ages, is for all, folks across Los Angeles. Seniors, we broke out in a dance party with some of the music last year. I mean, Bubble Man's going to be there. It's going to be off the chains. It's going to be off the hook.
That's right.
It certainly sounds like it. In our remaining minutes, I would be remiss if I didn't connect the dots, not just with your programs, but your advocacy.
That's right.
There's a 2024 California Play Equity Report that had some pretty detailed findings that have inspired Assembly Bill 749. It's the Youth Sports for All legislation. Can you give us an update on the status of that bill and what signal you hope passing that legislation might send as LA is preparing to host the Olympics?
Yeah, thank you so much for lifting that up, because the work of our charitable arm, the Play Equity Fund, is about organizing, building coalitions and community power, narrative change, elevating the important role of sport, play, and movement in our young kids' lives, and then being able to use this first of its kind statewide research to highlight the inequities that exist in sport, play, and movement, the fact that all kids can't have access, and then how does that help us drive our legislative strategy? We've made it through the Assembly. They've, approval vote. We made it through appropriations. We're scheduled in early July to go to the Senate. And once it passes the Senate, it's up to the governor to sign, which I'm confident he will do. And that gives us a platform statewide to highlight inequities and to have a conversation with a group of thought leaders. It'll be a commission to study the creation of a youth sports commission or a youth sports department, and an opportunity to centralize those functions and resources to make sure that they're distributed equitably, so that we are able to address the obesity crisis, that we're able to address lack of opportunity for sport, play, and movement in under-resourced and underfinanced communities, an opportunity to address coaching education and making sure that coaches have an opportunity to be registered so family knows who's engaging with their young persons. It is an opportunity for us to bring together thought leaders around the most prevailing issues around youth in the state of California and develop a new system that provides equitable distribution of resources and a pathway for young people to be able to thrive through sport, play, and movement.
I just want to double click on creating pathways for young people to thrive. We begin every hour with sort of the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. And sometimes those ugly headlines involve youth that have fallen off track.
That's right.
And sometimes they're the perpetrator, sometimes they're the victim. And so if we really want to create opportunities before there's despair, then we should be investing more in our youth as early as we can. And so I want to thank you, Renata. I want to thank you, Councilmember Hutt, for your leadership on this. I want to remind all of our leaders, learners, and listeners to run, don't walk, to the Play Day block party on June 28th. It is free. Councilmember Hutt, one final word.
2. Congratulations, KBLA, 4 years. Happy anniversary. Congratulations, Tavis. And happy birthday, Renata. Ha-ha. Yes.
Do we have a birthday in our midst?
The 22nd. So
Thank you.
Happy birthday. You know, we would go out to this Happy Birthday Stevie Wonder song if we knew.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
We love it. We love both of you. We will be there on June 28th at the Play Day block party in Los Angeles. You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least liked to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you, working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. It's about that time for the quiet part out loud. And one of the things I've been thinking about a lot lately are the survivors of the LA wildfires, particularly the Altadena fire survivors. And just for the record, you all should know that KBLA, we have kept our eye on this story, on this collection of stories for some time now, and will continue to do so. You might remember that 100 days after we held a community town hall that was broadcast live and live streamed everywhere to give all of you, our leaders, learners, and listeners, an update as to what was really going on in Altadena and how are folks really doing? How are they really recovering? What were the things that were keeping them up late at night? And you should also know that we have a show of record. I believe it's the only show of record that allows the survivors of the Altadena fire to speak truth to power every week. Conversations Live with James Farr. It's Conversations Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr, my colleague. He's done an extraordinary job curating that show every single week, working closely with partners like the Altadena Historical Society and Quinn Manuel law firm with their support, being able to bring together voices from the community each and every week. And just last week, as we were celebrating our KBLA 4th anniversary, you might remember that for the past couple weeks or so, we've been asking you all to, come to our KBLA barbecue and bring a gift card. Bring a gift card, restaurant gift card, a grocery gift card, whatever it is, because we want to make sure that the survivors of the Altadena fire know that we have their back, know that we haven't forgotten about them. And it's in that spirit that I saw this headline in the LA Times, and I thought it was worth sharing. Headline read, "I'm not going anywhere." For one Altadena fire survivor, the math makes sense to rebuild. We know this is a tough question for a lot of families, maybe even the toughest question, whether to rebuild or to restart your life elsewhere. Well, Jeannie Marie Malik Petrini, she had a big decision on her hands, as a lot of folks right now do. And for Petrini, the night of January 7th, it brought a total loss. The Eaton fire decimated her home in the northwest corner of Altadena near James Village, reducing what she thought of as her sanctuary to a pile of rubble. She said, quotes, "I have a spiritual connection to that house. It was the only place that she felt safe." So now, like thousands of other people, she's crunching the numbers on whether to sell her burned lot and move on or stay and rebuild. And she admits, for a lot of people, it makes more sense to sell. Experts estimate that a rebuild could take years and would involve navigating contractors and inspectors and governmental red tape, all while recovering from what was a traumatic incident. And some folks believe it just isn't worth the effort. It's the reason why lots are hitting the market daily. But when Petrini crunched the numbers, I thought the numbers were worth sharing. Petrini said she bought her Altadena home where she lived with her partner and 2 daughters for $705,000 in 2019. And she built, the house was built in 1925. It's a little over 1,350 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms on a thin lot of just over 5,300 square feet. She was able to refinance her loan during the pandemic, lowering her interest rate to 2.75% on a $450,000 mortgage. The move brought her mortgage payment from $3,600 down to $3,000, a relative steal, and only slightly more than the $2,800 rent that she had been paying in a Tahunga apartment since the fire. The property was insured by farmers, which sprang into action following the fire, sitting the first of her payouts on January 8th. That's pretty extraordinary. But she estimates that even the thriftiest rebuild even the thriftiest rebuild will cost her $700,000. And right now she can cover around $500,000, $380,000 and $70,000 insurance payout, plus $50,000 of personal property payout that she stashed to rebuild. And so those are some of the numbers that she's working with. We know that everybody's math don't math. But we believe everybody should have the space to be able to make that choice for themselves. And so, we want to continue to do our part to uplift stories, to remind folks that these are real people that are doing the best they can with the hand that they've been dealt. If you hear of any stories, or if you yourself, an Altadena fire survivor, want to share part of your story, how you arrived at whatever choice makes sense for you and your family, use the open mic feature on the KBLA app to get at us. And we just might feature your story on this show or as a part of James Farr's show of record, Conversations Live, Altadena Rising. We'll have to leave it there. My thanks to the entire village that helps us produce a more perfect union each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley, our sound engineer, Brother Andy, our show producers, Faraji and Art, and of course, each and every one of you, all of our leaders, learners, and listeners. We thank you, and we'll be right back here, same time, same place tomorrow. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai, and you've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
And the Senate.
He called the move unconstitutional and said it ignored diplomatic options. Jeffrey says Congress deserves answers. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is celebrating the next phase of